Hey everybody, it's the coach. You're tuned in to Sunday Night Football on EA Sports. We are just moments away from kickoff, and we've got a good one on tap between the Cincinnati Bengals and the Cleveland Browns. I'll join you again at halftime to look at some of these stats and scores from earlier this afternoon. But for now, it's Sunday Night Football. And on the call, as always, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Okay, Coach, so the folks here, they are bundled up, but they're ready for football as you get a look at First Energy Stadium in Cleveland, Ohio. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Cincinnati Bengals and the Cleveland Browns. Everyone, with Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Godden, and Charles, we look at they were winners last time out, so they'll be looking, Charles, to make it 2 in a row.
And what I enjoyed when I watched their game tape and their victory last week is they put it together in every phase. Good offense, good defense, and some key games. Let's see if they can get that second win in a row.
Meanwhile, for the Bengals here, December's here, so will that elusive first win be under the tree? At 0-13, they need one.
Priority one, win the game. The second part, though, ensure that you've got a chance to play for this team next year. This team may undergo a lot of changes before the next season.
It's the final 3 weeks of the season. Still plenty to play for here as we're underway in Week 15. This is taken at his 4. And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line. Here come the Bengals now to take over. And a glance here at their quarterback standing 6'3".
It's pretty much become the norm when we see guys come out before a game and go through the route tree with their receivers. I thought it was exciting for us to see the exact same thing happen in practice.
He's so meticulous, isn't he?
He really is, and that tells me it's not just a one-time-a-week thing. They work on it all the time, trying to hone that fine edge. They want to see if they can get in sync and stay in sync in this one.
A throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete. This is the offense we're going to see coming up in this one, and Travis Kelce will be key.
What a tremendous weapon he is, especially in the red zone. Knows how to find the end zone when running his routes.
From the 24, they'll go again on 2nd and 10.
Watch the slant.
Throwing again. Markham. And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's 3rd down. Time for a look at our starters here on defense. They've been very good against the pass so far this year. Number 4 in the NFL right now.
Yeah, defending the pass hasn't been an issue for them. It's been stopping the run. And if they don't stop the run, they can't get back to their strength, which is guarding against the air attack.
So now an early 3rd and 10 here on their opening drive. From the gun, Markham. And this one caught by Travis Kelce. And this effort will not get it done. He stopped well short of the first down at the 29. Just a 5-yard pickup, and it leads to 4th down.
There's an example of good situational football being played by a defense. They understood where the 3rd down play was, the down and distance, and made sure that they didn't get anywhere near that, bringing up 4th down.
Yeah, they were sniffing out that marker, didn't want to let him get close to there, and now a likely 3 and out to start.
Yeah, I love the way they rallied to the football and got to him and made sure he didn't give up much run after catch.
Oh, he takes it in, doesn't let it bounce. He takes it at the 2. And when it's said and done, it's a 50. Eight-yard punt. And the Browns will take over with a 1st and 10 deep in their own territory. And now Cleveland geared up to take the field. The partner, just looking at some of the struggles they've had this season, the playoffs are not in their future. As they start to peer toward the offseason, what moves might they make?
I think the running back position, and I know we talk all the time about the NFL being a passing league, but the teams that run the ball effectively, they're the ones that go deep into the playoffs and go to the Super Bowl. They have to upgrade here. And you and I both know in recent years in the draft, people have shied away from taking a runner early, but if there's that special one there, I say they go get him.
That didn't appear to be a run blitz. He just darted in once he saw the run develop.
That appeared to be a case of see ball, get ball.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. Mayfield down. The connection here with Nelson Aguilar. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets him up for 3rd down.
Partner sold the go route really well. Thought he was going deep, then curled it back inside for a nice completion.
DBs love when they pump the brakes, don't they?
Yeah, that's really a whole lot of fun. It's almost like you said, listen, if you're going to sell the go, just go, and let's see who's faster.
And a nickel look here for the Bengals as they try to defend this on 3rd. They run the counter. Harper. And he's taken down, but not before he gets this across the 25-yard line. That's good for a Cleveland 1st down, an 11-yard pickup. Well, one unit I know you want to watch is that offensive line. If they keep clearing holes like that, it could be a long night defensively.
No doubt about it, because when they are in sync, as we're seeing so far, when that continuity is there, and you can see that they're playing off of each other while controlling the defensive front linebackers, you're exactly right. It could be a very long night for the defense because someone's going to run for some big yardage.
Get ready, get ready, get ready.
Right back to him on 1st down. And not much, maybe a yard up to the 29.
Yeah, baby.
In a word, I would say productive, finding the end zone 3 different times.
Is it possible that you're really underselling it? 3 touchdowns, just going to call him productive?
What do you want?
This guy had a nose for the end zone.
He was good.
Had a snoot full, didn't he? How about that? Big-time game.
On 2nd down now. It's Harper. Space to maneuver at the 40. And he takes it all the way up to the 47. Big yardage there for the Browns, 18. That's his longest run of the 1st quarter. And, Charles, we talked before the game about them needing to establish the run game. They'll be looking for more of that.
And they got to the perimeter. So that tells me that that's part of the game plan of what they want to get done today. So they'll have some complimentary runs where he'll run it to the inside. But it appears that when they want the big yardage, they think they can get to the outside and make it happen.
A couple of 1st downs on the drive already, as they'll go from the 47 now on 1st down. First carry for Nick Chubb. He'll get 3 up to midfield.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7.
Watch the curl, watch the curl.
Now a handoff here to his running back. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. That one good for 26 and a 1st down. You were telling me this yesterday. This is exactly what they want to do on the opening drive, establish the ground game.
Yeah, remember our conversation? We were talking about what one of the GMs in the league has told me repeatedly. It's a big man's game, and it's not necessarily size. He's talking about playing some big boy football. Line up, get leverage, knock people back, and establish the run early.
All runs on this drive so far. It's 1st and 10. A first carry now for Kareem Hunt. Directly over him. Room here to run. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Browns touchdown. Kareem Hunt, his first touchdown on the year. And they are able to strike first here on their opening drive. An ideal start for them, really. You force the punt, and then you go down and score.
And you've got to see a fist pump on the sideline from the head coach, don't you? Because he's turned into his bench, and he's telling his team, this is how we prepare. Force the punt, go downfield and score. I told you guys, it's just like a boxer in the gym preparing for the fight. Now we get to turn it all loose.
Extra point splits the uprights, and it's now a 7-0 game. So that drive takes him down the field in 8 plays. And Kareem Hunt, the one to finish it off, as he did so with a touchdown run. Joseph now to kick this one away. This one fielded at the 5. And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line. The Bengal offense on their way out as we look at the playoff race in the AFC. And it's right about this time of year you start to say this is when the cream rises to the top. Week 15, 3 weeks left to go, but still plenty to be determined.
And I think for most teams, the obvious is to try and be the number 1 or number 2 seed. But when you look at it across the league and throughout the history of trying to get to the Super Bowl, the teams you really fear are the ones that get hot and sometimes sneak in at a 5 or a 6 seed, because we've seen those teams actually get to the Super Bowl and occasionally win it.
Yeah, you think of the Giants a couple of times. Steelers have done it. You're right. It has happened and will happen more in the future, I'm sure. A second down pass play there, but it's incomplete. He was looking for his favorite target, A.J. Green, that time. And that takes us from second to third down. The threat of a second straight punt to start the game is looming as they come up 3rd and 10. Back to throw. Markham. He's got Green. And he's going to come up a few yards short of the first. They get him to the ground at the 37. The completion good for only 6, and that'll bring up 4th.
Well, the good thing about covering any game I do with you is I know that there's no problem with rhythm. Now, what we're watching offensively, a little bit of a problem there.
Yeah, punt on the first drive, looking at another one here. Just a little slow. You know, they were talking about a fast start, but that hasn't been the case.
Yeah, and let's face it, any team we cover always talks about a fast start.
That's true.
But it's not necessarily going to happen just because they say so. And whether it's the script, whether it's, you know, just what they're going through, whether they're seeing different defenses, they're going to have to figure it out as this game moves on.
The Browns offense heading out as we take a look at the playoff picture in the AFC. And certainly they'll be hoping to hit pay dirt like they did on the last drive. Got the football back, so a chance to go up 2 scores.
And they haven't been tentative at all in this ball game, because sometimes you start a game with your script to try and get information out of the opposing defense. How will they play you in certain situations? To attack. And that's what I'm seeing so far.
Yeah, give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6. Following the pickup of 6. To throw, Mayfield. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. That one good for 26 and a first down. A nice job there, Charles. They picked up the blitz, were able to complete the pass.
That had the total feel of a quarterback in control. Red blitz, got him into the right protection scheme, so he doesn't get hit back there. He's got a chance to step up with supreme confidence and deliver it downfield for a nice completion.
He's got a first down and more inside the 30 and down to the 27-yard line. A good play there as the Browns strike for 16 and a first down. One thing's for sure, this defense has to figure out how to stop the ground game. He's eating them up here in the first quarter.
It looks like they have to go to different forces, aren't they? The conventional things aren't working too well. So I remember a coach of mine saying way back when a back's having a great game, you've got to get the ball out of his hands. See how far he can run without the ball. And what he meant was takeaways, knock it loose, because maybe you can't just stop him with just regular tackling.
On first down, they'll run with Hunt. Danny Trevathan there to bring him down.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8.
Let's go, tight end. Let's go right here now.
And he'll give it here to his running back. And they'll work it inside the 15-yard line before it's all said and done. That's good for a Cleveland first down, an 11-yard pickup. Well, they're making an effort to get the ground game going tonight. So far, it's working.
I like what we're seeing from the offensive line. They seem to have the leverage going, and they're controlling things and reestablishing the line of scrimmage, moving that defensive front backwards. But also like what the runner's giving us, too. It appears that he's been waiting all day long to get out here and take off.
180! 57, come on! I'm coming for you, son! I'm coming for you, son!
From the red zone now, Mayfield. Oh, it's a screen pass. That's complete. And he's going to be brought down just shy of the 5 at the 6. A good first down call as the screen play gets him 9.
For a second there, I thought that might break big. Screen pass. Looked like it was coming together. Looked like there was an opening. Still, ended up with a solid game.
That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves him with a very manageable 2nd and 1. Mayfield hands it off to Chubb, and he's able to get it down to the 2-yard line. 4 yards the pickup, first down. After 1, 7-0 on EA Sports.
Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Hey, alert 33.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield.
That's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that. Got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
Back at the 5-yard line now, 2nd and goal.
You ain't doing nothing today. You ain't doing hurry. Mike 59. Mike 59.
Going to give this time to the tailback. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. The 2nd down play results in a loss of 2 yards.
Not only was that a terrific play, but that loss of yardage they created this close to their own goal line, that gives them a little breathing room now as they move them back.
And they're breathing fire a little bit right now, aren't they?
A lot of confidence being shown by them at this point of the game.
Now the Browns will use the first of their 3 timeouts. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this 2nd quarter. They need to reverse the trend. The last 2 plays have gone backwards. Now it's 3rd and goal. Here's Mayfield. And that's going to be caught for a Browns touchdown. Odell Beckham, his 9th touchdown of the season. And the Browns are going to tack on to their advantage. An out route there for the score, a quick out route there for the score.
Yeah, you're not really surveying the defense on this one. You're just counting on timing, making this play happen. 1-2, ball's out of his hands, knows where he's going, just puts it to the outside. Touchdown.
Point after, right down the middle. And that'll make the score 14-0. A 10-play drive that time. And it's capped off by the Browns touchdown. Joseph now to kick this one away. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Cincinnati now ready to take the field. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board.
They'd love to just strike back with a touchdown right here, and if it's a long play, so be it. But the main goal, get a couple of first downs, run some plays, run some clock, allow their defense to get a chance to catch their breath, settle down, and relax a little bit after they just gave up a score.
Now a toss left side into the hands of his tight end. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. That one good for 15, and the Bengals get a first down.
The beauty of route running is it doesn't matter what position, everyone's doing the same thing. In this case, tight end, selling the vertical route. Get the defensive back on his heels, break off for the corner. With good timing, you get a completion as we just saw there.
Now a throw for the All-Pro Kelsey is complete. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. A Bengal first down on a 16-yard pickup there.
His position, and he's listed as a tight end, but he certainly doesn't run like one, and that's what we're seeing more and more coming into the league. Those guys who can run, make plays after the catch, and gain that additional yardage.
And using that speed there to turn it into a pretty nice little game. Here's a pass swung out left to his running back. It'll be a 3-yard gain, and that'll bring up second down.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
That first down completion only netted him 3. 2nd and 7. Here's a 2nd and 7. And his throw's going to be incomplete. His favorite target, Travis Kelce, the intended receiver. But now it'll be 3rd down. You got a young quarterback, maybe that's just an example of a growing pain for him.
I think you're right about that, because when the game starts to move fast and it moves quickly on him, a lot of times they fall back on what they know best, their arm. He's slinging it on this one. Had a wide open target, but didn't have the proper footwork to increase his accuracy.
Another example right there how this defense really is winning the entire game at the point of attack.
Yeah, right there at the line of scrimmage, because they are dominating it. It allows their interior guys to get upfield and spill into the backfield. So how are you going to combat that? Because they bring in your tight end, keep him in. Your running backs, they have to step forward. Bottom line, your offensive line has to block them first to give yourself a chance.
Charles, 54 yards. I'm surprised that came up short.
I would agree with that one, because normally, if he misses, it's accuracy, not length, because he has plenty of leg for that. But maybe it's like I hit my golf shot, maybe it's like my wedge. When you chili dip and you hit the ground ahead of it, sometimes that'll shorten your distance as well.
A look at the running back, the man out of the backfield as he gears up to go again. It may just be the second quarter, but he's in his zone, well on his way to eclipsing that 100-yard mark.
And when a back has a game, as we're witnessing right now, his name's going to be in the books, but it's really a collective deal, isn't it? Because that means he's getting plenty of blocking, a lot of help from his teammates, but he's making the most of it.
Yeah, he's made the most of it to this point.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Still a few inches short of a first down as they down. Throwing, Mayfield. It's caught, Beckett. And he's going to get this one down to the edge of the red zone. That one good for 26 and a first down. That is catch number 300 now for his NFL career. Mayfield brings him up 1st and 10. And he's a perfect 5 for 5 here to begin the game. Now a give right side. It's Harper. And he will lose yardage here back at the 23-yard line. Call it a full 3 yards in the wrong direction there. Brings up 2nd down.
Well, with the kind of half he's had, I think we can forgive him that run, right? Not every run's going to be a big play, is it?
No, and also the blocking just wasn't there. No room to run.
Yeah, defensively, they got to find a way to build on that because he's eating them alive in the first half.
180! Mike is 59. Mike to 59. Okay, double up.
They'll run with Hunt on 2nd down. And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. Officially, it will go as a 1-yard loss, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat? And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is at well over 300 pounds. He's a big man. And this is caught at the 8. And brought down, but not before they get it inside the 10 to the 7. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
Now the Browns signal for the 2nd of their timeouts. So as they take it over, we step aside. They'll run with Chubb. And he'll be stopped just outside the 5 at the 6. Only a yard that time, 2nd and goal. Be interesting to see now what they do offensively down near the goal line after not much there that time.
As the offensive play caller, that may change your sequence now. Instead of coming right back with a running play, you may have to go to the air.
The 6-yard line, the line of scrimmage on 2nd and goal. They run the counter. Harper. And he's going to press this one forward as they stop him right around the 1. It'll be a gain of 5, and it's going to set up a 3rd and goal. Well, they held him out on 2nd down, and now here's 3rd and goal. 2 minutes to play, first half. It's 14-0. Coming up in a couple of minutes, we'll get you to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. The coach will have stats and scores from earlier today in the NFL. Now Mayfield on 3rd and goal. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
Well, Brandon, we see why it's a team game there because there's a sigh of relief that they just released defensively. If he's able to get that one away, that's likely a touchdown. But instead, that pressure from the front got to him and forced the incompletion.
You're right. He had him open just a split second too late on the release. The kick by Joseph is good. And the lead will grow. It's now 17-0. They took it all the way to the 1, but in the end, opt for 3.
Just doesn't sound right, does it? If you got all the way down to the 1-yard line, isn't that supposed to be a play in the end zone that culminates in a touchdown for your team?
And per usual, it felt like the guys on the sideline wanted to go ahead and go for it.
Of course they did, but of course head coach, it defers back to him, and he made the decision, let's get 3 out of this, make sure we get some points.
Now the Cincinnati offense ready to see what they can do here. And we don't want to call this desperation time, especially in the second quarter, but you're down.
You don't want to.
I know, but let me finish.
Okay, my bad.
You're down 3 scores already. You've done nothing offensively, nothing on the scoreboard. That's not a good combination.
I think you just called it desperation time. I think you did. But let's face it.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Jannard Avery. He's the one to get him, and that is sack number 7 for him on the year.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
So that complicates things a bit here. 18 yards to go now on second down. Looking to throw. Markham complete. The tight end, Kelsey. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a third down.
Well, they're unable to convert that into much, but it's never a bad idea to try to get the ball into a tight end of his caliber's hands and see what kind of disruption he can cause.
Here we go. Set. 70. Indy. Watch the ship. Watch the ship.
Now Holyfield. It's a gain of just 3, and the offense likely going to yield to the punting unit here on 4th down.
Well, they got off the field on 3rd down. An excellent job, an excellent defensive series. We always talk about adjustments, and usually only at halftime. But the best teams adjust series to series. And on that series, they adjusted so well that they got the job done in fine style.
It'll be a 51-yard punt that time. The Cleveland offense ready to go. You've got under a minute to go here until halftime. You've got the good-sized lead. No need to do anything crazy.
No, there really is no need to do anything crazy. The smart play, go ahead and take your lead into the locker room and then try and add to it in the second half. But there's a part of me that looks at this and says, first half going my way, I have a little bit of a cushion. Let's go ahead and try and extend things. If you've got some good plays drawn up.
Well, this is taken in. It's complete. 20. And all the way in. Touchdown, Cleveland. Odell Beckham, 77 yards. And the Browns are going to tack on to their advantage.
I heard a coach talk about this late in the half scores, especially ones that give your team a pretty decent cushion. He said those could be the ones that could finish off a squad if you let them.
Yeah, they've got the cushion. This half has been theirs. Extra point right down the middle. And the route is on here in this first half. And we can break that scoring drive down pretty easily. One play, long touchdown pass into the end zone. Joseph now to kick this one away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And not wanting to risk anything here late in the half, he'll just take a knee and they'll bring the football out to the 25. John Ross and the rest of the offense heading back onto the field. Looking down at the stats here, realizing he has no catches. They've targeted him twice, but no catches. So how do they get him more involved, Charles?
You make sure he touches it on routes that he likes to run. Maybe even run a reverse or some type of a jet sweep so he gets his hands on the ball and get him active and involved in the game. You just try and find ways to get him going, and it doesn't have to be something that's big downfield.
Maybe kind of like in basketball, just a shooter seeing the ball go through, you get him a rep, get him more comfortable.
I agree with that totally. Maybe set that solid screen and give him an easy look.
Well, to this point, no catches. And this will probably be the last play of the quarter. So we have reached halftime here. You want the third quarter already? No problem. Let's do it. The Browns are going to get the second half kickoff, and they've got this lead as well as we are back and underway. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And all that work, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. And as this offense makes their way back out, it's AFC playoff race time as we give you a look. They built a good first-half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively.
And plays like that are exactly what this defense needs here early in the second half to give it a little spark. I think their halftime adjustments, what they talked about, maybe it was just a little inspirational speech. Who knows? But looks like they're ready to go.
So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. They'll keep it on the ground. It's Harper. He'll be brought down on the 30-yard line after a gain of 6.
Third quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
On third down, Mayfield. And he can't quite pick it. No interception so far. That probably should have been their first, but at least it's 4th down. So good work there on the defensive side for the first drive of the second half.
Yeah, and until their offense can get into rhythm, their defensive players and staff have got to say to themselves, we've got to make it work. We've got to stand in here and make sure nothing else happens until our guys start moving the ball.
It'll be a 44-yard punt. The return goes for 8. And the Bengals will take over here 1st and 10. So here are the Bengals now as they get their first possession of this second half. They trail offense, first time to touch the ball in quarter 3, and we'll see what they can do.
And I can't wait to see what they have planned, because some teams script to start a half. Other teams just go, okay, these are the sequence of plays we want to run. These things work well for us. And sometimes they throw in that big chunk play right away.
Shocker. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. In for the sack, Myles Garrett. A rookie QB struggling, gets thrown down to the ground there. But, you know, maybe this game, it's not over yet, but maybe this game can be a learning experience for him.
So many different things that he has to pick up on. When to go ahead and flush from the pocket and run. When to get rid of the football and not take the sack. When to just go ahead and go down early and make sure you don't fumble the football. So many things that he has to learn. This game starts the process.
And Charles, got to like what this defense has been able to do these last couple of plays.
Yeah, they get the sack on first down, then they force the incomplete pass. Now they're just a play away from getting the football right back, but it's a big play. They've got to hold up.
To Ware on the draw. And he will lose yardage here back at the 23-yard line. He lost 2, and it brings up 4th.
But if these guys are going to chop into that deficit, they got to do a much better job in the run game. Caught behind the line of scrimmage, no yardage to be found.
Anger is on to punt, and he gets this one away. This is taken at the 15. A very nice job on the run back there. He'll get 23 yards all told. And the Browns will take over 1st and 10. Beckham and the Browns set to take over again. You look at the numbers for him, and 1,000 yards obviously well within his sights, barring injury. He will get there. The question, will he get there in this game?
Well, he would love to. Duh, right? Of course he would. But, you know, watching him play this year, we often talk about defenses, you know, allocating extra resources to try and stop a guy of his ilk, right? But you know what else kicks in? His pride to say, okay, I don't care how many you throw in my direction, I'm still going to find a way to get open. I will use different moves. I will move against formation. I will come underneath routes and try and run through some people and kind of get natural picks in order to work his way open. He wants to get that 1,000, and he doesn't want any less passes to come to his direction.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. Now a handoff here to his running back. Just a couple on the ground there, and that's going to bring up 3rd and about 6.
You know how we get focused at end of the half and into the game situations about how much time's on the board and, you know, what you need to do? Sometimes you don't even have to worry about that. That's just smart football. You know, that kind of a lead, staying in bounds, it burns clock, even in a situation that we're not really focused on it.
A nickel look now for the Bengals as they try to stop him here on 3rd down. Mayfield. He finds Beckham complete. He got 29 yards that time. He's such a good route runner. Shows it there on 3rd down. Very proficient and a good pass.
And you know what I've observed over the years in the NFL? The better a route runner you are, the more confidence your guy's going to have in you to go to you in important times because he can trust you being in the right spot, and they connected there and picked up a 1st down.
So they'll come up in Bengals territory now with a 1st and 10 at the 30-yard line. They run the counter. Harper, and just no chance of turning the corner. He can only get back to the line of scrimmage. 2nd and 10 coming up. His carries tonight, they're getting up there, so maybe one of those every now and then is understandable.
I would agree with that. Understandable every now and then. Sometimes you come back and you fake it to him and go play action, but other times you say, okay, they got him on that one. We'll come back to him in another carry.
This one into the hands of Kittle, the tight end. That one a gain of 20 and a 1st down.
And the game just keeps evolving. Big guys running those corner routes, so difficult to cover.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And finding room to work, he's down to the 2-yard line. It's a good pickup of 7 yards, and now they're looking at 2nd and goal.
Well, that last run makes this a 100-yard night. I've loved the way he's hit the holes. He's been quick, he's been decisive, and he's been a whole lot of fun to watch.
Good yardage on 1st down. Now can they punch it in on 2nd and goal? They'll keep it on the ground. It's Harper, and maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. It'll be a loss of 1, and that's going to bring up an interesting 3rd and goal. 2 straight shots on the ground. Now on 3rd, do you go to the air?
I think the possibility exists, and if you're doing it, you're probably going play action since you ran it twice. But I often think that 2nd down is the time you go play action and throw the ball. I say commit to the run.
And with a flag down, he goes down. So they're able to sack him. Now the penalty looks like it could be holding. Let's find out. So instead of giving them another 3rd down, they'll decline it, brings up 4th.
Now that's smart football right there. You don't even have to really spend a lot of time considering it. Just know that you're probably going to get the ball back. Good job declining that penalty.
The kick by Joseph is good. And the lead increases even further. It's 27-0 now. That drive took him inside the 10. Good job defensively to hold him to 3.
Yeah, I like how you did that. Give a little tip of the cap to the stop troops there because they didn't give up a touchdown in that situation, right? Made them kick the field goal. And, yeah, points went against them, but that feels a whole lot better running off the field.
This will be fielded at the 6. They'll bring it back to just about the 25. Call it the 24-yard line. Cincinnati now ready to take the field. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm.
Rush coming, and he's taken down. Jannard Avery make that now 8 sacks for him on the season. Man, he got in there so quickly, Charles. What could the offense have done to adjust and account for that?
But what you're hoping is that you figure out and you see and get a clue that maybe there's going to be some pressure coming at you, and you change the blocking schemes. Maybe you go to max protection. The biggest one is maybe you bring your running back in to try and keep you clean. But in that case, that didn't happen. Zero accountability, and a sack resulted.
After the sack, it's 2nd and 19, and the road gets a bit tougher from here. Back to throw. Markham. And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on, 3rd down. We saw this a lot in the first half, and it continues. These receivers just not able to get much separation.
So that means they have to win the 50-50 balls. They've got to go up with the defender and find a way to start coming down with them.
And this time, contact and another incomplete pass. These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. Going deep downfield for Ross. And the throw there going to be incomplete. Another drive comes and goes. Still nothing on the scoreboard.
Yeah, and when the second half comes, you know, it's real easy to get discouraged and wonder if you're ever going to get things started. You just got to fight through it. Got to keep pounding away.
Fielded at the 20. They'll call that a 61-yard punt. He got all of that one. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. Heading out as the Cleveland offense now as they get set to take over here. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
So 1st and 10 now from the 30. They start on the ground with Nick Chubb. And he's got a good gain of 7 up to the 37.
Getting had a ton of success here so far, but you get the feeling that he might be on the verge of popping one.
Yeah, even on that one, there was a little bit of a hole, but it closed there quickly at the end. A good run got 7 on 1st. Here's 2nd and 3.
Here we go.
And he'll give it here to his running back. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. That's good for a Cleveland 1st down, an 11-yard pickup.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball, protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them.
180. Watch the back.
Running game working. They'll stick with it on 1st down. And they're going to stop him right at the line of scrimmage. Just no cutback lane to be found whatsoever. 2nd and 10.
No gain on the play. 2nd and 10 at their 48-yard line.
They'll try to throw here. Mayfield over the middle, complete. That's Harper. And another mistake here defensively as a flag is down on the tackle, and that's going to tack on 15 more. So they'll take the yardage and tack on 15 more for the face mask.
Talk about a play that absolutely costs you in the end. Just trying to do your job, right? Trying to get him on the ground. Next thing you know, they're marching off another 15 against your squad.
After the penalty, a fresh set of downs. It's 1st and 10.
You can't block me. You can't block me. You can't block me. Take 4. Take 4.
Now a give right side. It's Harper, and for one of the first times all night, he is going to go nowhere as they bury him behind the line. 1 quarter remains here on a Sunday night. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports.
Mike is 59. Mike to 59. Run.
On 2nd and 12, Mayfield. That's going to be caught. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Cleveland. Odell Beckham, his 3rd touchdown of the game, number 11 on the year, as his guys continue to pour it on.
There's no doubt in my mind.
And do you hear that? Do you hear the...
It's not scales, right? I don't hear scales. Do I actually hear a tune being warbled?
I think the fat lady's humming.
Yeah, she's doing more than humming. She's belting it out right now.
Going. She's full bore.
Yeah, this thing is flat out finished.
Extra point splits the uprights, and that will extend. So that drive spanned 5 plays, and it ends with a touchdown for Cleveland.
Greg Joseph to kick off for Cleveland.
Joseph now to kick this one away. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Now the Cincinnati offense ready to see what they can do here. And let's face it, this drive is not going to have any bearing on this game, but it's kind of important for one reason, isn't it?
It certainly is. You got to get points. And, okay, all right, I'm being facetious here. But you get points. You feel a little bit better about yourself as you move on to the next one.
On 1st down, Markham. That would complete to the former Seminole, Auden Tate. And he's going to be dropped following a pickup of 7 past the 30 to the 32. They'll operate from the 32-yard line here, 2nd and 3. 2nd and 3. Incomplete. At this point, down big, you'd have to imagine this defense are just going to sit back, blanket the field as best they can.
Yeah, this is actually the easy part of the game for them because, just as you noted, they can sit back, keep everything in front of them. But they've blanketed the field the entire game using a...
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Myles Garrett in there for sack number 85 of his great career, moving him past Hall of Famer Howie Long on the all-time list.
That right now... That's a defeated team out there. I think you can see it totally in their body language.
Hands on hips, heads low. It's just been a struggle from the start.
Yeah, this team has been thoroughly beaten right from the word go.
It's a 45-yard punt, 6 yards on the return. And that will come the offense as they take over. And as this offense makes their way back out, NFC playoff race time, we give you a look at what's going on there. And, Charles, we are in the midst of a very one-sided affair. I think this is where you and I have to fill a little bit. You want to regale us with old stories of your childhood in New Paltz, New York?
I don't think anyone wants to hear that, but this is a perfect time for us to start listing MVP candidates, right? Best teams we've seen so far this year, the best games that we've called thus far, how we anticipate the season unfolding. We can go in so many different directions because the game certainly not taking us there.
Oh, I hear the remotes clicking off right now.
Yeah, let's get a sack lunch.
Gonna give this time to the tailback. And a 6-yard gain gets him right around the 43.
Here comes the ball. I see you, boy. I see you.
That's a gain of 6. Makes it 3rd and 2.
The Browns on 3rd down. They've hit 4 of 7. Here it's 3rd and 2. They'll keep it on the ground. It's Harper. And he'll work it across midfield inside the 45. 13 yards to pick up there. Good for a Cleveland first.
He's still rumbling, isn't he? Still looking fresh in this one despite the heavy workload. But you and I both know, well-conditioned, and he did tell us that he thrives on being at his peak late in ball games.
Mike. 180. 59. I want that. Give me that ball, defense.
On first down, they'll run with Chubb. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be second down.
Yeah, baby.
A gain of 5 brings up 2nd and 5 at the 40-yard line.
The first down run got 5. Here's 2nd and 5.
59. Run. Go. Check. Check hot route. Hot.
Now a handoff here to his running back. And he lost the football. And the Bengals grab it. And his guys are going to get the football at the 37-yard line. Often on fumbles, you look at the guy who coughed it up and say, geez, what did he do? But, hey, let's tip the cap to the defense here.
Not a problem at all, my man. I'm going to tip it. I'm going to doff my cap to him. Congratulations. Big-time play. Knocking it free and creating something good for your team.
And this is one of those bang-bang plays, Charles.
That's all right, baby. Going the other way.
After review of the play, the ruling on the field is reversed.
The Browns on third down. They've had good success, 5 for 8 to this point. Here it's 3rd and 3. On third down, here's Hunt. And he's going to be taken down here still a couple yards short of the first. Only a yard on the pickup there, and it's going to leave him with a 4th down. This late in the game, Charles, I think you maybe seriously have to think about going for it.
Especially where they are in terms of field position, because this is almost like no man's land. Might hurt your punter because there might not be enough space, maybe too far for your field goal kicker. I'm like the old rule. Possession is 9/10 of the law. Possession is 9/10 of winning the game. Go for it. Get the first down. Close it out.
Now the Browns will use the first of their 3 timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this. And with things looking pretty good on the scoreboard, they're going to keep the offense out there and go for it here on 4th. Now Mayfield on 4th down. And it is incomplete. The Browns unable to move the chains on 4th down. And the Bengals will get the football back. So they were really trying to put the nail in the coffin there already with this lead here in the 4th. But they didn't get it.
Guaranteed, it's not going to be a fun handshake in the postgame, right? You just know that there's going to be some bad blood there. And I know if we go to the postgame press conferences, the winning coach, you know what he's going to say, why he did it? We need the points, okay? Because you never know at the end of the year if points are going to come into the tiebreaker if we're trying to get into the playoffs. That's always the standard justification.
And this will be good for a pickup of 9 to the 46. Give him 9 there on the first down completion. That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves him with a very manageable 2nd and 1. 2nd and 1. His throw incomplete. Another incompletion. You know, it's a wonder he's still moving around back there the number of times he's been sacked.
Yeah, he's staying out there, isn't he? And you don't think about it much in a game like this, but he's showing incredible leadership. Still competing, still fighting, not taking himself out of a ball game that appears lost.
They tried to throw on 2nd down, unsuccessful. Now it's 3rd and 1. Looking to throw. Markham. And Tate's got it. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. A Bengal first down on the 16-yard pickup there.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
I'm
This quarterback now a perfect 8 for 8 to start the second half. Not bad. 1st and 10. And this is going to be caught, but they'll say out of bounds. So it's incomplete. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden the secondary. They feel good about what's going on. They just play better and better.
And he's taken down inside the 30. 10 yards there on a Bengal first.
Nice game there, partner, but you and I both know that won't do anything for the final score. They're not going to win this one. Right now they're playing for pride and fantasy points.
And just to erase that goose egg, nobody wants to be shut out. Now a pass dumped off to his running back. And he'll be brought down. Oh, that's a face mask. Certainly looked like it. Indeed, here come the flags. So that flag will cost him 15.
And it doesn't matter anymore how you get the face mask. Any part of it, that's going to be 15 yards.
So now then the penalty's got him set up with a 1st and goal. Back to throw again. And the coverage terrific there as that's knocked down and incomplete. Credit that breakup to Greedy Williams. Another pass attempt, another incompletion. You figure defensively, you're in the 4th quarter here. You've held the team under 100 yards passing. You've done your job.
Especially in today's NFL, which is truly a pass-first league.
Now a 2nd down throw for the end zone, but it's incomplete. Well, it just seems like all game long there hasn't been a lot of sync quarterback to wide receiver on this side of the football.
They haven't been on the same page, quarterback and receivers. Heck, they haven't been on the same grease board when you draw plays up. They haven't been on the same surface tablet that you look at on the sidelines. Nothing's worked for them. They've got to find a way to start matching each other's movements.
And the stop will come inside the 5 at the 4. Call it a gain of 5, but still a decent ways from the end zone now on 4th and goal. This defense continues to be good on 3rd down. I mean, they haven't allowed a touchdown offensively. Are you saying, let's go for this, let's try to get it in the end zone?
I don't know about that because of what you just described. They've been so good, and they don't give up the big play that you would expect in downs 1 through 3. Why should 4th down be any different? True. You might want to go ahead and kick the field goal and see if you can figure out something else as this game moves on.
This is taken at the 3. And he'll take this across the 25, a couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. Here now, time to discuss Odell Beckham Jr. Now, this defense, they wouldn't mind not seeing him again for a while. 3 trips to the end zone. How about that?
I think right now they would happily go to their general manager and say, is there any way you could get a trade for him? Bring him over to our team so we don't have to cover him anymore, because he is really having a heck of a ball game, isn't he?
Boy, he is. I don't know that mid-game trade's going to happen, but good thought. Here's a throw out wide, complete to his running back right side. I call it no gain there on the 1st down play. They couldn't get anything going there out on the right side in the flat of the swing pass.
And didn't we have a discussion with their staff about wanting to get the backs more involved in the passing game? Huge emphasis for this game, but obviously the defense had other plans and really made a nice play.
Had the completed pass, but for no gain, stopped right at the line, so it's 2nd and 10.
Hurry! Check. Shift. Check 59. Mike is 59. Mike to 59. I got one.
They run the counter. Harper. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. That'll set him back with a loss of 3 on the play. And that'll make it 3rd and 13. Finally, defensively, they have a little clip to show positive for actually stopping him running the football.
It's been a really long night for them, hasn't it? So they got a little bit of a win there, but let's face it, the vision that he's had running the football has carried his feet to the open spaces and the big yardage all night long.
Now a 3rd down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete. So the Browns in possession of the football here as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. 46 on his first kick. This one in that neighborhood as well. That's taken on the 25. And he gets this up to the 34 out of bounds there. Officially, that'll go as a 52-yard punt. Not too shabby. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. Cincinnati now ready to take the field. They've lost this one. Their offense has struggled. Do they try to put together something here at the end just to take into next week?
Yeah, sometimes teams want to do that and coaches want to. I remember one time I was on a team and we were losing late in a game like this, and you knew it was lost. It was over, right? And the coach called a running play and pretty much said to everyone, I want to see something executed well before we get out of here. And that was the message to the team.
Just something to build on.
Just something to build on, get it done, and maybe we can look at that and say, we'll get better as we go forward.
Now a quick throw as that's complete on the hitch route. And this will be good for a pickup of 9 to the 46. Give him 9 there on the first down completion. They like going to him in the slot. He catches another one.
I think this comes under the heading of until they stop him, why not go back to it? He has something going really well, throwing the ball, and they keep making the connection.
Now, meanwhile, here's a second down throw that's knocked away and incomplete. He started out having some troubles back in the first half connecting with his receivers. Really hasn't gotten a whole lot better.
Yeah, he's at less than 50%, and you and I both know that just won't do. So I would think about spreading things out, putting it on the receivers, make them win those one-on-one battles on the perimeter and find their way open.
Back to throw. Markham. He's got his man. This is Tate. And he's going to have the first down at about the 38. They call his number again. It's his 6th catch and a first down. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's 2nd down. We have not seen a whole lot of wide-open receivers. Everything seemingly has been contested.
And that's another nice job there to force an incompletion. They've been very cohesive, knowing each other's moves all game long, and they've been on the spot just about every time.
And they've held them in check on the scoreboard. Now the Bengals going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with a little over 30 ticks to go in the football game. And it looks like we've got a dime set here defensively. 6 DBs in the game. Operating from the gun. Markham into a double team, and it's intercepted. Greedy Williams picks it off. That's not one that he's going to want to remember, but he had to get it out of the way at some point, his first career interception.
And if he's the guy that they think he is, he's not laughing it off, but he's also not going to let it affect him as the game proceeds. He's going to go back out there, still be the same confident kid, the reason that they drafted him, and go out and play.
Odell Beckham now marching back onto the field. Seems like the measuring stick for a receiver for a great game is 100 yards. Well, he's well past that now.
And as we analyze how he's getting them, that's where it really becomes fun because, let's face it, they keep sending coverage at him, keep trying to put the pressure on, yet he finds ways downfield and finds openings. That's a really crafty receiver.
They'll run on first down. It's Harper, and he's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on first down. They're going to hurry back to the line now.
Brings up 2nd and 1 at the 42-yard line.
They'll keep it on the ground. It's Harper, and it's a fumble. So Cleveland able to come away with the victory here. And it was their defense that led the way, allowing just 3 points, that lone field goal in the entire second half.
And remember the old adage, offense sells tickets. Defense does what?
Wins championships.
And in this game, maybe a championship wasn't won, but a game was by the defense, right? Held them to just a field goal. That's a heck of a job. I mean, when they went out there with that determination and a pretty good game plan, pretty good idea of what they wanted to accomplish. Just love the execution, love the tenacity, love the way they finished.
So for the Browns,